Hello, everybody. I just thought I'd check in and let everybody know what's going on here in Hawaii with the quarantine, or not quarantine because you have to be sick to have a quarantine, the shutdown, lockdown, that kind of stuff. Oh, everything is closed. There's no tourists here. It's like a ghost town. And so, with there being no tourists coming in, that means no revenue, no money. And that's how majority of homeless people made their money for food and doing their laundry and all that stuff. Um, of course, drugs and alcohol too, but mainly food. And so, because there's less people to give food, there's little programs here and there, which I just want to take a second to say thank you very much to those people that are giving out food and stuff like that. And also, I'd like to give thanks to all the doctors and nurses and everybody delivering food. Everybody that's out there on the front lines, I appreciate you very much. Thank you. Hang in there. That being said, I just want to let everybody know how hard it is for the homeless population because we can't stay home. We don't have homes. And majority of the people are on the streets, right there on the curb, and they shut down the bathroom so at one point, and so pretty much we all had to like poop in a bag or poop on a curb, so that was really inhumane. So I'm really glad that they opened some of them back up, but that's just to point out how hard it is for us. I can't charge my phone anywhere, so that's the reason why it's also hard to keep in contact with anybody. I'd really like to keep in contact with the majority of people and have more contact, but one, there's not much service up here where I'm at, and two, there's no place to charge our phones anywhere. Hardly. I found a spot. It's a secret spot. I'm not going to say where it's at because it's a secret, but usually there's a lot of other homeless people there. And I'm always afraid to touch anything, because I don't have any way to warm up water. We don't, and it's not just me. We can't just have a hot cup of anything because that costs for one. And majority of people don't have any money to buy a hot cup of Joe or tea, or we can't have warm water every 20 minutes or whatever it's required. I figured out a way to set a jar in the sun. Not plastic, but a jar in the sun, and it warms it up. So, but I really want to contact some people, but they're mad at me or whatever. And I just want to touch base and get contact with people that I had a feud with, and I want to squash that and like move on, and because it's really hard for some reason. I can't get over this, and I just want to have a connection with that person, not physically, obviously. And I'm really good at social distancing because that's been my majority of my life. I've never been a hugger. I started that weenus thing in the Clitorian clan. Everybody that is a part of that knows what I'm talking about. Weenus salute, the skin on the elbow. Weenus salute, because, I'm not a big toucher of people. And then it's been really hard because the majority of my stuff got stolen the other day. And I didn't bring that person up, even though I know that person that stole all my stuff. He followed another friend of mine, ours, up the hill. I knew his temperament because if you didn't give him like a cigarette or something, he'd throw a tantrum and like kick sand in your face. He did that to one of my friends just over a cigarette. And so he snaps easy because of the drugs and stuff. There's a lot of people on drugs, and it affects them psychologically when they're already psychologically damaged, And But I'm a firm believer in not exiling them, not judging them. I'm a firm believer in love, and love will heal everything. And so I gave love to this person. I gave food when he was up here and clothing because he had nothing. But I left to go do my laundry and other things. I was gone for quite some time. I took my bear, good thing, because she has sentimental value to me. Someone special gave her to me, which I would love to have connection with that person again, just to say, hey, are you okay? You know, and, just have compassion and forgiveness and let all that stuff go. The ball's in her court. Anyway, all my stuff got stolen. Not the important stuff, not my phone and, ID and stuff like that. I have that, but like blankets and food, I was stocking up so I could stay in my tent and sort of quarantine myself. But he stole everything. And I don't really care about material stuff. I'm not a materialistic person at all. Everybody knows that about me, that knows me. But it was the fact that I felt so alone. Nobody had my back. Nobody watched my stuff. If these people called themselves my friend, and I watch their stuff when they leave, sort of a neighborly thing to do. But and now I know where I stand. I know who they really are, and it usually most of the time people all over, and I feel like this all the time. The only time they want to talk to me is if they want money or something. And so I feel really alone right now. And that's why I wanted to reconnect with the person that helped me through that before. But I don't know. I guess I fucked up too much. Too bad. Too far. Unforgivable. I'm a monster. Anyway, let's not focus on that. I still love her, and I love everybody that is going through this. This is a battle, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. We just got to hang in there and stay strong. A lot of the times it's really hard for us homeless people because, the cops pick on us a lot. I got a ticket for laying in a hammock when 20 other tourists were laying in a hammock that day, and me and my other homeless friend is the only two people that got a ticket. It turned out to be $1,000 or 30 days in jail for laying in a hammock in the middle of the day. And it's not posted anywhere at all. Nowhere. And I assumed because everybody else was in hammocks that we could lay in a hammock. No, that's not the case. So anyway, I have to fight that on the 7th of this month, but everything's shut down, so I don't know what I'm going to do. It seems like every time I try to claw my way up, it's like somebody's there always pressing me down. They don't want you to advance or to better your life. That's what it seems like. And it's such a struggle. It's a struggle to even sleep somewhere because they bother you and they give you a ticket just for sleeping, and you're not bothering anybody. I think that should be, against the law to bother somebody that's sleeping, that's not bothering somebody else, or they're not in your way. And then a lot of my friends are going through that, or acquaintances rather. And I got a ticket for helping move my friend's car. I told her several times that I don't know how to drive. I don't know how to drive. Never drove. At least I know now I do know how to drive, because that was pummeled into my head that I'm like a clumsy puppy dog and I should never drive because I'm retarded, or I'm stupid. And so I believed that lie. And so at least I was set free. And I know how easy it is. It's easy now. But anyway, I helped her move her car. Didn't even make it around the corner. It started smoking on fire. She turned the engine off. The cop came up behind us. Gave me a ticket for no seatbelt, driving without a license. she didn't have any insurance on it, wasn't even in her name, didn't even turn it over, and a bunch of other things like obstruction of view because she had a dangly thing from the mirror and a sticker. It's not my car. I'm not going to move stuff around. It's not my car. So it came out to be $400, and I had to pay that, and I forgive her for that and other things. She said she would watch my dog because she was the reason why I got the ticket. That's what I said, and I was gonna give her the dog the next night so I didn't have to wake her because she's crabby when she wakes up in the morning. So I waited for her to come to get the dog, Sugar, and she never came. So I went to her car and I started knocking on the window, and she didn't respond. I thought she was high because she eats marijuana and it knocks her out. So I thought that's what happened because it happened before. And she didn't respond, so I started pounding on it, and I was like, she wouldn't wake up. So I was like, I guess she's out. So I go laid in a park, which was risky because I could have got a ticket, but I did it anyway. I got up really early in the morning, started knocking on the window, pounding on it, and she finally woke up. She says, go away. I was like, wait a minute, you promised me that you would watch my dog. And she's like, no. And she's like, and I was like, wait a minute. I started crying. I was like, you lied to me. How could you do this? What am I supposed to do? And she got this shit-eating grin on her face, like evil. Just, And then she covered her face. And I was like, oh my God, she's evil. But I forgive her for that, I had to give it to a handicapped lady. She watched her, and I paid her for it. And luckily I came back when I did because she was about to get out of her harness, because she was scared. And anyway, it's a bunch of crap. It's hard for us a little bit more because we can't warm up water like everybody else. We can't stay secluded because we're around other people just like us. And I know there's programs, but usually it's full of people that are just like us. We can get scabies, not just the virus. There's other things too, and we're just like this far away from each other. Because I've been there. These programs, a lot of them are not made for or designed for people. I don't know. I just want to let everybody know that I'm thinking about them, regardless of whether they're mad at me or upset or thinks that I'm a monster or, whatever your opinions are. I still want to send out love and to let you know that I'm thinking about you and I love you, and to stay strong and stay connected to the family that is good to you and stay connected to the friends that are good to you, because you don't know how lucky you are. There's a lot of people that are completely alone, that have no one, and that are struggling with that on a daily basis. And I see a lot of them are older people, and it breaks my heart that we cannot help them. We can't make them help themselves. And I'm alone. I have good friends. I do. I'd like to think that. But I'm basically alone. I have no one. And it's by choice, I guess. I choose to go no contact. I'd rather be in a tent than around people that are poison, toxic, and they're never going to change because I gave them, I'm talking about my family, I gave them numerous opportunities to have a connection with them. It just didn't work. They're never going to change, and I'm never going to be part of the family. I'm never going to have kids. I don't want any kids now. I used to. But you don't know how lucky you are. If you have a family, cherish them to the best of your ability. And stay strong.